Welcome, lords and ladies, kings and queens, my noble court, to the Cosmic Archive, a living legendarium of a million worlds. I am Lord Master Leonis, your humble scribe and archivist, curator of this fine establishment. And today I'm going to be doing another react to Louieverse. I've actually learned the lore behind Louieverse, the name Louieverse. LadyWasabee, I believe, is her name. And she had a daughter, I believe. And that daughter died, and that daughter's name was Louie. And so she named her universe after her. It's a very heart-wrenching story. This is the second of her videos. This one's called Numb. And it is described as a mental health anthem. Down here, she says Numb is a music video set in Red Vale, a cyberpunk city inside Louieverse. So that answers my question from before. The city is the Red Vale. This song explores mental health, emotional numbness, and the quiet exhaustion of carrying pain alone. Breathe introduced Red Vale. Numb takes us a little further inside and introduces more characters to the world. The track is about the phase where fighting feels heavy, where you don't want to cry anymore, when feeling nothing feels safer than feeling everything. Sometimes numbness isn't weakness, it's survival. The visuals feature glimpses and cameos from the citizens of Red Vale, faces, moments, fragments of heroes who chose this city when their own worlds became too much. Like she used Midjourney for images, Grok, Holly AI, a Higgs field AI. I don't know those ones. I know Vidu and I know Grok, so we are going to go ahead and watch this, and as I have done with previous reacts, I will watch it all the way through once, relatively unfettered, minimal engagement, and then I will watch it through again and kind of pick it apart and react to individually. So here we go.
Citizens of Red Vale, we are about to take off. Fasten your seatbelts.
I watch the world move past me, like I'm not in this game.
Want to see the words?
My body keeps on breathing, but nothing feels the same. It's a silence in my heartbeat that keeps the tears inside. I know I should be feeling, but I'm not here inside. Life keeps pouring at me, I'm frozen in the gray. I feel you calling to me from somewhere I can't reach. Numb.
Okay. This guy's captions are not doing work.
The walls are moving closer, the light is fading fast. Or maybe it's my vision, nothing seems to last. Every wrong is like I'm quiet. I don't want an answer, I don't
this really is a mishmash.
I hear your voice beside me, it turns into a purr. I don't know if it finds me or leaves me where I was.
Oh, that looks so cool.
You have arrived at Red Vale.
Wow. Okay. That was something. I'm sorry I laughed right there. Just the thought of like the like drow fantasy character, dark rogue person just doing laundry on a normal Tuesday uh struck me very funny. This one was a little lower tone than the last one. The last one I felt like threw so much at me so fast. It was very difficult to uh grasp everything at once. I liked being able to go through and look at all the individual little things. This one throws a lot at you too. It's much more character driven, which is what she said in the description. Um, Much more character driven than location driven. But there's still a lot in here. It's very interesting. And the voice that she gave to like the automated announcement system, the whole "you have reached the red veil," like that gave me even harder "there is no war in Bossing Say" vibes than the just seeing the image in the last one. Very, very interesting. So the theme of this is like mental health and feeling numb from loss. Yeah, I think I've definitely felt numb before. Felt like that when I lost my grandmother. Felt like that for a little while after losing my uncle recently. Like you're supposed to cry, but you can't right now, so you swallow it. And then when you should be able to cry later, it won't come out. You just feel a little dead inside for a little while. I think that's what she's referring to. I hope I'm right about that. All right, so let's go through this again and pick it apart like we do.
Citizens of Red Vale, we are about to take off. Fasten your seatbelts.
So I guess this is just a normal airplane in the Louieverse. This is so cool to me right here. I like the idea of having like this looks to me like you would have a sort of military force of like winged people that you could deploy that would act a lot like paratroopers, but you wouldn't need to have parachutes for them because they could spread wings and fly on their own volition. Very, very interesting concept. I like how we're seeing sort of like a magma field on a mountain here, and then over here in the background, this looks much more like city lights. Crashing wave. Not sure what that'll mean. This is a really cool visual, I think. Also, since the last video was called Breathe, I don't know if this was done on purpose, but I like the idea of like now this person is doing the breathing.
I watch the world move past me.
Did it remove my CCs again? It sure did. Okay. Loving that. I watched the world move past.
Like I'm not in this game.
Interesting. I watched the world move past me like I'm not in this game. Is that in reference to just life as a game, or is there a sense that like this is almost a video game world or a game world of some kind? I wonder. This is new. There's a section of the city that's up on this like raised platform here, and I guess it must have some kind of energy it's drawing to like keep itself up. We have windmills in the dystopian city. Yeah, we do. Okay. Windmills and biodomes. It's very interesting because it seems to me like this is almost color shifted to red. And so if you took the red and you just gave it like a normal blue sky, it would look very similar to like a normal world, just a little degraded a bit. Very interesting design concept. I like this. This like lines up very perfectly with like musculature and everything. Okay, what is this? Is this just a piece of the city? Because it kind of looks like a boat or a vessel, almost. It's on the water. I'm noticing that the sky here isn't red. I think this might be the first time we've seen like just normal sunlight hitting a structure in Louieverse. And we can see sort of the normal. You can even see how there's like plant life on these rocky outcrops with sort of this volcanic rock here. I'm curious now if the red shifting is something that's done only in the Red Veil, and the rest of the world outside of the Red Veil and its surrounding areas are more well lit like this, or have a different lighting system. You see all the red here on the building. I'm wondering if this is maybe in the Red Veil still. But nothing feels the same. I might have just answered my own question because we're seeing this here is background here. This is lit up really, really red. We're seeing a lot of red coming up from the ground. But over here where it's just cloudy and night, I don't really see red light coming from it. So maybe it's just the lights from the city make it look all red. Is this the same character we just saw going up the escalator? Is this the idea is I'm trying to see now. Is there anything I'm missing here? It does look very similar. This character. It could be. So just like the character when they arrive and they're whole, and now they're kind of broken. They've had to replace parts of themselves. They're not the same person they used to be. That's an amazing visual, if so. I think that's incredibly beautiful. Like, this is like obviously all artificial red light. And now we just got suits talking. My heartbeat that keeps the tears inside. How do you keep the blue looking? Well, I guess it does have some red sheen on it with all the lights. I'll be honest, I'm really fascinated by visual styles right now because I'm trying to learn how to prompt AI and I'm trying to learn how to make my own AI videos. So I'm trying to look into some of these and get an idea of what's going on. I know I should be feeling. Oh, this arrow is so cool looking. I imagine it's supposed to be metal, but this almost looks like it's made out of gemstone or maybe a blend of gemstone and metal. It's very, very interesting design with all this like crack, styration looking stuff on it, but it still kind of looks like a solid sheen, like a metal sheen to it. But I'm not here inside. This reminds me of like show I used to watch, and I can't remember the name of it. It was one of those 2000 shows that had like one season and went away because it was bad right after Kappa happened. Um, there was a bad guy who could like stick a mask. You know what? I think it was maybe Shaolin Showdown. There's a bad guy who could like stick a mask on the good guys and it would like make them switch sides.
Life keeps pouring out.
Again, I am fascinated by sort of the matchup and fusion of all these different styles. Like this guy's so medieval knight. We just saw like some other medieval styles, but we also saw the very Asian influence in the characters before that. You see the American slash British businessmen with the suits walking around in the city. There's so many things coming from so many different places all at the same time. This guy looks like he has a whole crusader army and he's just waiting for the sun to rise to give them the word. Oh, and then you have this. This is like 100% like Japanese mecha style. And that's on top of we'll see dragons. We already saw them when I did the watch through earlier. You know, so many different things. Actually, I turned the CC off for a second because I want to see what's going on down here. Is the idea that she controls this, or that she is making some kind of offering, or she's a friend of whatever is in this suit? Okay. I don't know if I would have included the motorcycle sound myself, but this is not my universe. That is an interesting move. These horses look very realistic to me. This bike looks very realistic to me, as well as a helmet. I used to have a helmet that looked almost just like that. Are we okay? This looks more 3D animated. I don't know if it's the dragon does. I'm looking at the bike. I mean, it does. Don't get me wrong. It looks like a design for a bike. It looks real, but it looks more 3D animated. I'm seeing like more around like the discs and some of the harder points on the bike. It feels a little more intentionally softened. The light glow is softened. It feels much more 3D animation-y. Maybe it's the background. That background feels more drawn than, and it goes from this to this, and this feels more like photographic. That's a very interesting change. I wonder what, because okay, now that we change this clip face though does look drawn. That's interesting because the horses don't really look like they were drawn.
Somewhere I can't reach.
I hate that the CC will not tell me the words to the chorus. I would ask if this is LadyWasabee, but I already know the answer. I know the avatar she uses, so this is interesting. I wonder who this is. We saw another lady who was dressed in white earlier. This color scheme is really, really rare inside the Red Veil so far. I've only seen that other girl, her, and then in the last video there was like a Greek priestess, like a Greco-Roman priestess. So I'm interested to see, like, do the people who have this aesthetic, this like white, silver, and white gold aesthetics, do they have anything to do with each other? This person looks very elven. Like the clothing design looks very elven, like Lord of the Ringsy. But the angel wings suggests to me it's a very Western medieval design. And the sword does too. That's just a cool car. I used to always want to do this when I was younger. I want to take a car out and do this, and I never plucked up the courage to do it. I know if you jumped high like this, you just break it. We're seeing so many more colors in this video. Like in this image, you only see red in these like bars. In the last image, the red it was oppressive. It was everywhere, and now we're seeing so much more of the world stripped of the red color and just kind of getting to see what the actual structures look like on their own. That is a very interesting choice. I wonder if that has anything to do with sort of the numb feeling and the I wonder if maybe the draining of the color has something to do with feeling numb. Like maybe in Breathe there was more passionate feelings about what was going on and so there's more color. And in this one it's more muted because she feels numb. I mean we still get these red sections like this where everything's really, really red, but in the background you see more gray and dark now. I've seen people do this on TV. This is one of the coolest tricks, in my opinion, when you have a small airplane that like lands on a car. These car designs are sick, by the way. There's like Lambos and Ferraris. Would be amazing to own one of these one day, but man, I'm never gonna have that kind of money.
Let me be numb.
This gives me heavy Harley Quinn vibes. I don't think Harley Quinn ever used chains. I'm curious if this is like I feel a little bit of Harley Quinn, a little bit of what is her name from League of Legends? The Jinx. A little bit of Harley Quinn, a little bit of Jinx I'm getting from this. These characters, these are more Renaissance era outfits. We didn't see that in the last video, so that definitely adds another style to it. So you see these like pauldrons like this. This is much more emblematic of like Renaissance era, and you have like the leather dresses and bodices. These ladies are probably all wearing corsets. I don't know if they're out here in front or they're just wearing one underneath. But this is a very common style for that era. They wore them in the Middle Ages too, but it was not as like people didn't draw as much attention to it. And you got all the bags and stuff. And this one is very obviously like wearing a suit. That's very trying to see if this is like a gun she's holding, maybe? Like a flintlock? Yes, it is. What is this? Kind of Tomb Raidery. This guy gives me Nick Valentine vibes from Fallout 4. That looks a lot like Nick Valentine to me. He's got like the sort of detective suit all tattered and worn. The hat. Very different design for like the face, the robotic style. I think Nick Valentine still has some of his old skin, both on his face and on his hands, and this is like him stripped of all the false skin and just looking like a robot. Walls are moving closer. The light is fading fast. I'm trying to get into like the vibe, watching everything. I'm much more like, how do I put this? I'm much more enraptured by the visuals than I am by the lyrics. But I am trying to hear what she's saying. And it is so far like feeling a lot to me like that idea of just like feeling dead inside for a little while. You can't I don't know if I've ever felt empty, but I think I can say I felt numb. And for me it's always been like for example, when I lost my uncle recently, I learned that while I was at work. I was in the middle of a shift. I had to just swallow everything I felt about it because I have to be here right now. I have to be professional. I have to talk to people. I have to interact. I can't be sad. I can't be hurting over this right now. But by the time I had gotten home, I had been just swallowing that down for so long that I couldn't really get myself to pull a reaction out of myself anymore. And I just kind of like I just went to bed numb. Yeah, that's a really good description of it, actually. So this guy we saw in the last one too is very Anubis-y. I don't know what's going on with him. He's got this Egypt vibe going, and I think he's the only one we really saw an Egypt vibe out of so far. But there were some more Egypt people, Egyptian stuff. What is this jellyfish? If you've seen my post about the Cosmic Archive on my YouTube and my X account, my Twitter account, you'll know that I'm trying to build this idea of a jellyfish with stuff going on inside the bell head here. This is very reminiscent of a lot of the images I get out of Grok when I tell it I want a jellyfish. I'm not sure what to do about that. I wonder if a Man-O-War might be a better choice. These cars up front, though, they look very Raiders from like a post-apocalypse world. Raidery. Not really Mad Max. They're too put together, too clean. It's like somebody who's definitely not a Raider built a car that's designed to give off the feel of being part of a Raider crew. Yeah, this looks very almost UFO, but it looks like it's a building. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but we got this very Victorian towers here now. And we are back to the suspension bridge. Every wrong is like a quiet. I don't want an answer. I don't want a cure. Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. I think I probably feel this line more than any of the other ones. Because when you're in it, when you're dealing with it, when you are dealing with the loss, like you have some people who are really close to you who are telling you like it's gonna be okay, things are gonna be all right. But you hear that from a lot of people, and some of those people you're just like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. Maybe it'll be okay later, but I'm not okay right now, and I'm not feeling it right now. You know. This guy in the background is giving me Wolverine type vibes. I don't want an answer. I just want the silence. Yeah, I think probably when I was dealing with loss are the only times I can think of in my life where I just wanted to talk about something and not have anyone give me an answer. Like generally, if I'm asking or talking about something, I kind of want to do some kind of collaborative back and forth with that person to figure out how can I fix the situation I am in. But when I'm in emotional pain like this, I think I'm in agreement. Like I don't really want that collaboration. I just want to get it out of me, you know? Now I'm only gonna think this because I saw Carolina Overdrive before watching this. This is actually my first watch through of this. Was the first time I've seen this video at all. So this is an actual complete blind react. But this reminds me of the cat DJ from Carolina Overdrive from the Gonna Be. Gonna Be is the word that's the name of the song. Carolina Overdrive, I think, is the psychedelic cycle is called Carolina Overdrive. But this guy it reminds me of that, but only because he's at a DJ table. Otherwise, he's like nothing like that. There's a very different feel in the background. He doesn't even look like he's in a club. Okay, these are the folks. They have a little bit more of that Egyptian vibe to them, but not entirely. These wing things. This makes me think of like the headless winged knights in Dark Souls games, which feels more medieval to me. But I was thinking a lot of the like sort of design work on the headdresses and stuff look more Middle Eastern or Egyptian. Also, the wings kind of give me I don't know why, but I'm getting like Nephthys vibes from Egyptian mythology. We got our astronaut girl again, and Just like last time, we got a little hair sticking out of the helmet before the helmet comes off, but that's all right. Yeah, these guys are giving me more like Aztec vibes with the huge plumage headdresses and like the capes of feathers and stuff. Yeah, the light is coming from the city. All right. Okay, so that is a submarine, not a torpedo. Okay. I wasn't sure about that. This gives me I like the rocket boosters on everything. We're gonna have propellers. I bet these have a rocket booster on the back too. Like everything's got a rocket booster. This is giving me sort of like not quite steampunk vibes. It could be steampunk, but because it's underwater, it has to be so like closed in on itself. Like it has to be completely self-contained. It doesn't look like a normal steampunk uh invention because you can't let water get into a submarine or it'll sink. And I don't think we had a bunch of cat girls in the last video. I think this is the first time we've seen cat girls in Louieverse. And now we have an elf girl. I'm just getting the most amazing frames. That's interesting. I kind of like this idea of projecting this image out like this. Looks very interesting.
Beside me turns into a blur. I don't know.
Flashbang. I'm gonna have to put a flashbang warning in on that one. Hear a voice beside me, it turns into a blur.
If it finds me.
That I should have commented on this. She looks very... Oh, she's ice skating. Oh, that's interesting. So that's like a performance then. This whole design, everything about this design looks very Chinese, Asian. She's ice skating. Is she like performing for someone? Is that just a straight up pole dancer?
Leaves me where I was.
Wait a minute. Is that the girl from the start that we saw going up the escalator here? Is that who this is? No, hair's too long. It looks very similar though. I was gonna be like, oh man, that breaks my head canon. I was really hoping she was the lady with the mechanical parts because that was a really cool shot, like a really cool cut between those two. This is an interesting idea. You just have clothes that fall apart. This is just a typical D&D bard right here. Very Catwoman coded. Okay. I really like the design of this building here. This gives me similar vibes to that one we saw in Bree that looked like just a ramshackle, but this has been built upon more. It now looks like a legit tower. You have this giant hypergate looking thing behind it. So now we're in the sci-fi section of the city. Everything is much more red. This almost looks like there's a rift in the sky back here that's pouring red light out into the city, and maybe that's why the red veil is so red. As you see over here, again, we've got sort of the muted gray dark colors over here, the red lights in the city, but the sky is not red over here. Over here, the sky is red. Something in the sky is shining red. This is also an interesting idea because you have this floating cafe, but as you see as the video moves, I don't know if that's a trick of the camera, but like the buildings, as you're looking at this, the buildings look like they warp and move around that cafe as it moves through the city. That's a very interesting idea. If it's like maybe warping space around it, that's an interesting idea. Or if it's just that we have like a bubble effect on the camera that makes it look that way, but actually the cafe has been in the same spot the entire time and hasn't moved. Is this the same astronaut girl? She doesn't have the head on, or the helmet on at the beginning. It is the same astronaut girl. So now she's got herself like a black stealth suit instead of the regular space suit. This is looking a lot like that ship we saw launch in the first video. She has a more like sort of Mass Effect Warframe style outfit now. This ship looks like, I see both European and Asian design elements in this. Do the swords let them float? Why are they floating? They don't have wings. I'm curious. Are they like masters of magic, or do the swords burn, and as the swords sort of burn out as they get closer to the bottom, is when the blade is completely burned up, do they no longer float at that point? That'd be an interesting concept to explore. Back here again, the sky is very red, but it kind of looks like it's clouds, and it might not be the sun, but something else that's shining on them. Oh, I'm so glad I got this frame. This armor is awesome. This looks very Japanese samurai. Very like, this would be like the shogun would go out, or one of the shogun's direct subordinates would go out with an outfit like this. Very ornate, very very pretty. Now that I think about it, the shogun would probably have a full brace, like a full armor vest on as well, and on his legs. This might be more of a like a ninja that has stolen some samurai armor type style. I'm not sure, but if it gives me samurai vibes for sure. I am trying to get a good frame on this guy he's fighting, so I get an idea what he looks like. We don't really get a solid like straight look at him, do we? He also looks like he's wearing some ornate stuff. Guy was kind of giving me Sun Wukong vibes fighting with that pole. Who's this now? Oh, is this the Greco-Roman priestess fighting? This one started weird. It's like they just sat there waiting for like a cue to start fighting. This might be like a training regimen she's doing. Okay, this lady's giving me again. We have another one of these folks with wings. So you've seen like black wings with like the sort of Death Reaper guy, and then you have the more sort of elven angelic white winged woman, and now you have the red winged woman. This is giving me very Dark Phoenix from Marvel, Dark Phoenix vibes. He's got a scythe though. I feel like there might be another winged character that carries a scythe with the red hair. Oh, are we back to the battle with Pole Guy and the samurai? Oh, this guy looks much more modestly dressed, actually. This might just be... What I'm thinking of in my head is that there was an era in China where people who studied the Tao were looked down upon. And Tao was like one of the ways to sort of move and learn how to use body energy. I'm curious if this guy is sort of like an anti-Tao person, and this guy is someone who studies the Tao. Okay, this person's got that white silver vibe again. This isn't the angelic lady from earlier. You have another person who's dressed in like these light colors. That is so interesting. We saw like nobody in color sets like this in the last video. It was all like dark, um, dark black stealth suit type vibe. The ultimate cooker bot. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still breathing. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, LadyWasabee. I feel you. This is what got me laughing earlier. This guy is like straight up. Oh, I know who else the red-haired angel lady reminded me of. Zariel from the D&D lore. Zariel is the archdevil of the first layer of hell in D&D lore. She used to be an angel and she fell because she agreed with Asmodeus, the Lord of Hell, about needing to have better order, that heaven's not doing enough to fix problems caused by mortals. So that was also a vibe I got off of her. This guy though, this is just crazy to me. This gives me like I don't remember his name, but there's like a famous drow character in D&D lore that like he forsakes the drow society, he forsakes the Spider Queen, and he goes up to the surface world and becomes a great hero. And this guy's giving me vibes like that. But here he is just, getting laundry out of a modern day laundry machine with some extra glowing red digits on it. Or maybe not. Maybe he's burning whatever he just put in there. What the hell? Is this not a washing machine? It just burns stuff? Or is the idea that this is supposed to be cleansing it somehow? I don't know. Oh, I did not catch this earlier. I was probably talking about something. What are you? This is like a one-headed Cerberus undead hound creature. What the heck? What are you? That's new. That's crazy. Oh, we just...
You have arrived at Red Vale.
I've already said my piece about this bit. It's a lot. It's a lot. This was less. Not in a bad way. This was less stuff thrown at you all at once. In yeah. This was a lot fewer things thrown at you at once than it was in Breathe. Breathe just had so much, and maybe that was just because it was an introduction to the world and she just wanted you to see like how grandiose and different the world was from everything else. But this was much more digestible. Much more digestible. So I am looking forward to seeing One Sky later. Man, I think there's definitely a shift in tone. Definitely a shift in tone. The music is a little slower. It's more somber. The lyrics in Breathe gave me the feeling of someone who is incredibly overwhelmed by the situation in which they find themselves. They said things like, I feel the ground beneath me, but I don't know what's real, and I don't need these other things. I just need a moment where my lungs remember me. Like, it felt like someone who was just really, really overwhelmed. And this gives me the vibe of someone who's gotten past the being overwhelmed part and is now just kind of here. Probably doesn't know where to go or what to do. They're just here. They're existing. They're a little dead inside, probably. And they're just trying to figure it out one step at a time. They've found their way to kind of condense the noise and the cacophony down into a few things at a time that they can actually handle, and they're working their way through it. That's really more the vibe this gives me. So, yeah, this was really, really good. LadyWasabee, you did a really, really good job. Um, as before, your universe is incredible. Has so many things in it. It, I don't, I still don't think I've seen anything like this. This is like a real. I keep using the term mishmash, and I really shouldn't. It is genuinely like a fusion of all this stuff together. It's incredible. It's incredible. I don't know what else to call it. It's very beautiful. It's very incredible. I liked the expansion of color beyond red in this one. That might come off as maybe too harsh a joke. I apologize if it does. I've been getting sharpened on Twitter recently. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. If I had to say, I think I like Breathe better. But I don't think this is bad by any means. It's a very different feeling. It evokes a very different emotion from me. It makes me think of times when things weren't so good. Um, but there's good in the memory of those times, because if you don't have them, then you can't really appreciate how good things are when they are good. So the last song was crazy. This one was haunting. I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about it. So until next time, my curious scholars, goodbye.